G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, today I'm going to take a look at my old mate Ranty. Well, this must be quite a few times I've looked at him. But there was something he said the other day which really caught my attention and actually made me laugh quite loudly. Take it away, Critical Think.
Well, let's see what his... I haven't followed his work for a few weeks, so I'm not too sure or familiar with any of the observations that he's talking about, so it's all kind of going to be new to me. So, I don't know, let's have a listen.
Is that a flat earther could never have invented this, because a flat earther doesn't understand optics.
Fuck off, you prick.
What a...
You
what an arrogant...
absolute prick.
Yeah.
Oh, here we see Ranty failing again. Feigning surprise. But of course you gave yourself away, Ranty, because you had it queued up to exactly this moment so you could fake your indignation. Wow, that is true flat earth pantomime. Sorry, Adam.
It's guys like this that have only got one reason. Earth curve.
So that's how cameras work, Gary. You zoom in, they get bigger. Right, now that we've established that, we can carry on.
The P1000 is an amazing camera. I mean, it's surprising. You only have to, zoom in a bit and it magnifies it massively. I mean, they've got like 90 zoom on it or something, 83 zoom. It's just incredible.
Yeah, total globe destroyer, that camera. Amazing.
You see, Ranty, anyone who knows anything about the P1000, flat earther camera of choice, knows that it's a 125 times zoom. How do you not know this? I think you kind of validated Critical Think's assertion there. You guys really don't know much about optics. And to further substantiate my claim, I heard one of Ranty's other little guests saying a little later on, something like this.
Speaking of hoaxes, there's something I noticed that I'd like to share, and I think I've shared it before, but there's always people who haven't heard it. But the images that are taken from the ISS cupola. Now, there's one in particular. It's supposed to be Andres Kuiper, who is somewhere over Italy, the boot. Now, their photo is basically from an altitude of about 3,200 miles up, when the claim of the ISS and the cupola being at 300 miles up. If the photo was taken from 300 miles up, you would not have the view that you have of the rest of Europe and other stuff and a little bit curving. You'd see a heel. If you go to Google Earth and bring up the Andres Kuiper's image with Italy in the background, go to Google Earth and then zoom out over Italy till you match the view that he's supposed to have in that photo. You'll see that from Google Earth is telling you it's 3,000 plus miles up. If you scroll down to 300 miles, you're going to see bootlegger. It's not the same. It's so incredibly obvious. And
Well,
virtually
sometimes I wonder
every
if they
photo.
do that on purpose. Like
No, they
make-
never really thought people would go this far and dissect them.
go and look.
Yeah.
Do you think? Or do you think they really are like gaslighting us, laughing
They
at us,
think
saying,
people
look,
are
we can
so
put out images
stupid.
like this. Yeah, and they're so stupid they believe us.
Absolutely. People are so stupid a cartoon can convince them.
Now, it boils down to the fact that he was using Google Earth to compare to the image seen from the ISS, and the Google Earth height did not line up with the 250 or 400 kilometers that the ISS was. Now, if Ranty had known anything about optics, he would have just jumped in straight away and said, oh yes, but it's going to depend on the focal length of the camera that they're using from the ISS, doesn't it? Because you're going to see two totally different sets of images if you do. Look, here's something seen with a wide-angle lens, and here's something seen with a telephoto lens, all from the same height. So, Ranty, how did you not know that?
It's shocking.
Yeah.
It's so...
Yeah, ludicrous, eh?
I mean, it's well, I don't know. It's just really tough to be a globe earther right now. That's all I've got to say.
And, of course, Ranty thinks it's a really tough time for globers, but tell you what, mate, us globers, we keep coming up with new things. Now, here's something, and I've been in this game for almost 3 years now. Ranty, I have not seen anybody mention this before, and this is absolutely a slam dunk for the globe. I think you're yet to have one of those for the flat Earth yet, aren't you? So what you're seeing there, mate, satellites passing through the Earth's shadow, one after the other, blink out, blink back on again, all too easy. So satellites, globe sign. Satellites going through the Earth's shadow, another globe sign. The stars behind it not blinking out, yet another globe sign. How many do you want, Ranty? It'll be really interesting to hear what you're going to say about this one.
It's shocking.
Oh, Ranty, we did also have a chuckle about you and Arwen going toe-to-toe, but look, I don't really want to get into that. That little school kid tactics, that's all very messy. You guys do that. We don't need to. But when I mentioned that you're going to lend your P1000 to somebody to do a whole pile of sunset research, Wolfie said exactly what I thought he was going to say, and he goes, you know what? I should send him a filter. And of course he's made the offer, but we're yet to see if you're going to accept it. So how about it, Ranty? Free solar filter for your flat Earth research on sunsets. Maybe the guy would really like that, even if you don't want it.
It's shocking.
Oh, and Ranty, the fun between you and Wolfie didn't stop there though, did it? Because you were busted, mate, big time, deleting comments. Yeah, just watch this. I'll speed it up a little bit. Sorry for chipmunking you, Wolfie, but in the interest of time saving, I'll just speed it up a little bit.
Posted a comment on Ranty's channel and it disappeared straight away, so clearly he wasn't happy about it. But that's okay. I'll type it again and let's see what happens. It is always about the money. Flat Earth is an internet scam targeting the most gullible people on YouTube. Look at the description under many Flat Earth links, Patreon links, channel membership, and merchandise sales. Decent job, Ranty. And you won't have to slave away your channel for peanuts. Earning far more Flat Earth and Ranty. Let's see how long this lasts. I'll copy it. Okay, posted.
Who killed it?
Okay, we see 10 comments, and let's see how fast he deletes it.
Who killed it?
There it is, it's gone already. Oh dear. Ranty, Ranty, Ranty. You didn't like that one, did you? That's all right. Now we know you're just doing it for the money.
I guess there's always a chance that it's stuck in a spam folder, in which case, Ranty, just release it and then I will humbly apologise and say, sorry mate, my mistake, you didn't delete Wolfie's comment. But I think we all know you did. So how about that, Ranty? You deleted the comment straight away. Oh dear. That's not good form for a truth seeker, is it?
It's shocking.
Rocky, do you put anything critical on the outside of your ship? And Rocky's like, no, of course not. So wouldn't it be great to see one of those astronauts in there instead of just floating and bouncing around water and shit? Like maybe fixing shit on the inside of the ISS, right? Like, you know, pulling electronics out and be like, oh shit, we got a problem here, red light, you know, whoop, whoop. No.
Yeah, they don't touch anything. They don't touch anything of those wires, do they? I mean, come on, I mean, listen, I mean, whoever rewired that, I mean, they need firing. I mean, let's be honest, it's
Fixed inside the ISS? Well, look, here's an image of some astronauts moving a very heavy rack. That thing weighs hundreds of pounds, yet they're just floating it around. That's some pretty cool stuff. Oh, and Ranty, have you ever been inside a research laboratory? These places are very messy because things are constantly changing. And in space, you don't need to have the extra weight of zip ties or cabinet covers. You just run a lead and that's where it sits with a bit of Velcro. All too easy.
It's shocking. One little droplet of water, right, in the wrong place on any of those wiring, you know, you're talking about that whole thing blowing up, you know, and everybody's life at risk. And they need to understand, these people that think that there's actually people up there on the ISS need to understand that too, that they can't be throwing water at each other and wiggling it around and showing, oh, look at all this water flying everywhere. Yeah, right, in the ISS, because it doesn't just evaporate like it does here on Earth.
No.
Right? If it was up there, it would still be in that container, and it would always be there. It wouldn't disappear, it'd just move to a different position, and eventually it would get in the wiring, and you couldn't pick it up.
They got machines up there that go chugga chugga chugga.
Water evaporation just depends on a few things like the temperature, relative humidity, wind speed, air pressure. And they have all of those things inside the ISS. So all the sweat and the humidity, it's all controlled and runs through condensers just like air conditioning units do. They dry the air and control it and reclaim the water. So to say it doesn't evaporate, that's just a big fail on your part.
It's shocking.
So why don't they show an astronaut that's EVA'd up, right? He gets in the airlock thing and have a water bubble with him, right? So when they, and then he's sealed off from the ISS itself. And I want to see what happens in that water bubble, right? When he opens the flap, right? I would love to see that.
Oh, who is that saying they want to put a water bubble in the airlock? You do know it takes 40 minutes to pump it down from 14.7 psi to 0 before they can actually even open the outer door. You guys really don't understand much, do you?
It's shocking.
So you think there is something up there? Well, there you go. That's globe Earth proof right there, Ranty.
It's shocking.
Plates.
UFO almost.
Oh yeah, that's what
Is this the one that circumnavigated the globe, Gleam?
This is what Rude Earther was showing.
Yes, completely solar powered, went all the way around the world.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That would make sense with those big solar panels. Yeah.
Solar planes? No, mate, they are way too slow.
It's shocking. Well, do you know something? It wouldn't surprise me if we all know that there's some. Well, I do anyway, and I know that some people still deny it. But me personally, I don't deny that there is something up there. What I definitely deny is that there's people living in it. Because that just isn't the case. I just definitely deny the height of it. I don't think it's as high as they tell us it is, or as big as they tell us it is.
When are you going to do a height test, or a speed test, or even film it crossing in front of the sun or the moon? Come on, Ranty, you're not doing your research properly.
It's shocking.
You guys think we can see a football field 200 miles away?
Well, you can't do it the other way around. So if you're in a plane, you would struggle to identify a house from 30,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and here's a photo of a football field. Here's a photo of a field. It's an airfield taken from the ISS. So, Ranty, you can do it both ways. All too easy.
It's shocking.
Agreed, there's something up there, Ranty. I filmed it myself, and I was able to keep it in high zoom with my bare hands. So, that thing is not going 17,500 miles an hour.
And who is this saying you can't hold it with bare hands? This is a scale fail. Have you even looked at the speed, angular speed of what it's going? Look, here's a video of Ruhif, myself, and Wade's Underworld. We all looked at the ISS at the same time. That's from Brisbane to Sydney. So how high do you think the ISS needs to be where you can see it from Brisbane to Sydney?
It's shocking.
This fascinates me. If the sun lights up the ISS, right? How come we can see it from one side, from one end of the horizon to the other?
And
when it travels past, shouldn't the sun not be able to light it?
It should be in the shadow, right? Should be in the shadow.
Yes.
Who is it saying they expect it to travel right across the horizon? Well, the ISS does blink out sometimes. Here, have a look at this heavens above image. See where all these are not 10? Anything greater than 10 is where the Earth's shadow has come into play. And here's a brilliant image of where the ISS was crossing the sky at night and disappeared halfway across the sky because it entered the Earth's shadow.
It's shocking.
You know
what it looks like? Aaron, looks like a fast plane.
Yeah.
Looks like a really fast plane.
Shooting star almost.
Oh, Ranty, here's another derp that's attributed to you because you didn't pull this guy up. He was saying the ISS looks like a plane. Well, we all know it doesn't. It has no control surfaces, no visible means of propulsion, and it probably all the aerodynamics of a house brick. So why did you not say he was wrong? I guess it's because, again, you know nothing about the ISS and aerodynamics.
It's shocking.
Oh, and in today's video of derp from Ranty, we have more fails. Here's one where he's talking about astronaut Peak, and he is in the ISS and he's doing a quick little experiment, which is really cool. But of course Rannty has to go straight on the attack and say, oh look, you can tell he's in a harness.
Okay, so do you know what's so blatantly obvious immediately is that he's in a harness here, whereas on the original image he stood up normally. Yep. I can tell that first away. I can tell that straight away.
Down, sitting. He's got his thumb in the harness, like he's sitting down in it.
Yeah, here he is in the harness. Yeah. And this has obviously been put out afterwards to try and say this is what was going on, guys. But look, you can tell he's in the harness, right? Look how it's all coming up round his chest, right? And when you look at the original video, yeah.
A bit of damage control there, I think.
Oh, look, you can see he's in a harness because I can tell. But, of course, he unclips really quickly, doesn't he, Rannty? Look at that. What a fail. And to add to our optics fail by Rannty, here's another optics fail by Rannty. I just love it when these slatties go on about this educational aid. It's called the Graph, and you can buy it online. Links in the description if I remember to put it there. But Rannty, this is just another proof that you have no idea about optics. Because which colour are you going to do colour subtraction on when you have a bar that is white? You guys really don't understand this stuff at all, do you?
It's shocking. God, these guys just make me so furious. I just want to smack him upside the head. Traitor to humanity.
Yeah, Paige, I know exactly how you feel.
There's absolutely no need to fake it if you're up there. You would not be bringing...
Exactly. You would not need to have a Chromakey. If he's on the ISS and he's actually doing that little thing with the ball, there is just no reason to have that Chromakey screen there at all.
Okay, Rannty, so now that this is proven to be an educational aid made by Nomex, what are you going to do now that you realise this is actually real footage? They don't have to fake it. The reason they took it there is because they just wanted to demonstrate stuff, and having a graph as a background is actually educational for school children who might want to do some physics on this. Things like formulas and numbers and maths and stuff.
It's shocking. Absolute damage control. This was damage control here. This is what this was.
Oh, Rannty, absolutely correct. You are in full damage control mode. That's not what you meant? Oh, sorry, ignore me.
It's shocking.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty much all I can do with Rannty for today. Every minute I listen to Rannty is another derp that I find. So this is probably about the limit. But I did ask my good mate Hugh Jars to have a look at Rannty's France observation from England, or whatever the heck that was. I think he's going to have a go at it, and maybe that will be part 2, and that might come along shortly. So perhaps what you should do is subscribe to Hugh. So to be sure you don't miss it, just subscribe to Hugh and you'll see it as soon as he drops it.